Welcome to ADROSONIC Pulse, a podcast where technology meets innovation, business meets transformation, and together we bring to you a space where we have conversations that are shaping the tech landscape today. We have a very special guest joining us, Oli Harrison, Head of Engineering at Aventum, a global reinsurance group. With an incredible journey in the world of tech and engineering, Oli's passion for leadership and innovation is nothing short of inspiring. We're so thrilled to have him to learn more from his experiences, his perspectives on industry trends, and his vision for the future of engineering. Welcome to ADROSONIC Pulse. We're really excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you very much.
All right, so let's begin with where you just introduce yourself. Tell me something about how your tech journey has been like and what inspired you to join Aventum, what inspired you to becoming the head of engineering at Aventum.
Okay. So I typically introduce my role in Aventum as the head of engineering as being three things, really, to make sure that we have quality people, quality processes, and quality technology to drive our business forward through technological delivery. Mm-hmm. In terms of my past and history and how I got here, I kicked off my career with BAE Systems as a consultant, and I was working for the Foreign Office as a service portfolio delivery manager. So I was delivering and managing and leading a secure IT service for the government. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed that role, and it gave me a lot of insights into my own managerial style, my leadership style, and how my initial thoughts to go into the tech industry, because that wasn't my first choice. I was originally meant to be going into the military. Okay. My initial thoughts for going into the tech industry and the idea behind that was vindicated. I really enjoyed being part of a technological transformation that BAE Systems was doing with the Foreign Office at the time. However, not having come from a computer science background, I didn't understand what certificates were. I didn't really understand what different sort of development languages there were, how to automate. So when my teams came to me and said, we have a problem with this service, and I had to report to the CIO and help him understand what we were going to do about it, I was completely at the mercy of the team that I'd had and actually not had the opportunity to build myself. So I decided that I wanted to get more deeper into my technological understanding and the tech industry, and I started working for a company called Applied Predictive Technologies, which actually has an amazing culture. And I was speaking to your CEO earlier about this. That is really reminded me, or ADROSONIC really reminds me of that fantastic, innovative culture. But that was a wonderful company to work for, and I was doing some systems engineering for them, learning my PowerShell skills, my automation skills, really digging into the Microsoft Azure stack at the time. And I moved on from that role for various reasons. I went to start my own startup where I had more experiences building technology from the ground. I was looking for the next thing to do, and I knew that I wanted to build a greenfield project. I knew that I wanted to be part of a company's mission that I really believed in. What led me to Aventum was Aventum acquired that company, Mulberry Risk, and used that product extensively. And it took Hassani Jess, our CTO, or now group CTO, to come on board Aventum with his buying into and collaborating with our CEO, David Bierman, to kick off this major transformational change and journey that we're doing now. And I was brought into the fold because I was CTO, initially tech lead, but then CTO of Mulberry Risk at the time, to be head of engineering and to help to lead from that people, processes, and engineering technology standpoint. The role of head of engineering is to me exactly where I wanted to be back then when I started. To me, it's the perfect role for this place and time, and it's very exciting.
All right, so Aventum's a big step, and I think you pretty much answered why and how you landed up here. But what in your career path exactly set you up for this?
For me, every single part of the journey has been formational to set me up for success in a role. I wouldn't change any of that, and I wouldn't change any of the people that I've worked with. And I think I've been very, very lucky, and it has been chance, to join organizations and teams that have been incredibly supportive of my development and growth into a role like the one that I'm capable of fulfilling today. Absolutely.
Yeah. So now that we know that, you're loving this and you're doing right exactly what you feel like you should be doing. So tell me, what excites you most about this role?
Everyone wants to, in tech, everyone wants to be part of greenfield projects, right? Everyone wants to build something from the ground up. And we're absolutely doing that. That's always going to be exciting. But the scale that we're doing that at is phenomenally exciting. We have 9 different product engineering teams building 10 plus products that are all interconnected, and they're building those in parallel. And that's incredibly exciting because it doesn't just mean that, or learning and innovating on a single element of the industry or a single element of technology. We have the opportunity to learn and innovate across every single area as a team. So even our software engineers who have worked in the industry for 20 plus years, this is a new thing for them, right? Because never have they worked on this particular scale. It's very rare to get to collaborate so closely because all of these systems are not interconnected but intercommunicative. That means that our engineers have to consistently communicate very, very well within their teams and then without their teams externally to each other team that's building all of these different aspects in parallel at the same time. So it's the scale really of what we're doing and the challenge that represents that's really exciting for not just me, but also the engineers that I lead.
As you know, there is rapid digital change versus the traditionally risk-averse insurance industry. How does Aventum strike a balance between these two?
I laughed a bit when I read this because I don't think Aventum has ever, being in the insurance industry, I don't think Aventum has ever been too risk averse or not rapid. Aventum's always been a disruptor without this tech team. Yeah. So Aventum's motto or sort of mantra is dare to discover. And it's a very daring company. It's a very bold and courageous company in what it's done and what it's always done. The only difference now is, and Aventum has innovated and been bold and courageous with the technology that they've implemented to date. The difference now is because we're building a lot of this technology in-house, what we have to spur is that intercommunication between technology and technological teams and our insurance focused teams, and make sure that they're singing off the same song sheet, right? We're working towards the same vision. So when we think about innovating technologically, we think about replatforming something, we think about introducing a new concept. Our engineering teams aren't just thinking about that from their perspective and within their context. They're involving the business in those decisions, making sure that we're always driving towards the value that matters most. When our business teams are thinking about redesigning some processes or making themselves more operationally efficient or selling more, they now have that technological counterpart, this team, to communicate with and work very closely with to understand the art of the possible, which only ensures that we are able to innovate faster, right? So we're not just innovating nowadays through operational process improvement and ideas and bringing on third-party IT partners and platforms. We're innovating with our own technology as well, and that's the shift that we've had to make. But we've always been bold, rapid, and courageous as a business. So there is a purpose
within all the teams, and they're all. So that's where the balance is basically.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
How does Aventum then tackle industry-specific challenges, and does your roadmap include having any in-house solutions, especially to make the underwriting a more seamless process?
Our platform is called Atomics, and its aim is to be the sort of best integrated insurance productivity suite there is on the market, right? And it's there to really rapidly advance our ability to do business, not just in the areas or the lines of business or the product suites that we're focusing on at the moment, but to provide that platform to be able to become more diverse, to be able to charge into writing sort of different lines that we haven't written before, really quickly and rapidly as the need arises, as the industry shifts, we can rapidly move with that. So the industry specific challenges that we have, if I could take one example, the insurance industry is rife with unstructured data, and that's something that's probably never going to change. I say never, but it's a very old industry, and it has its ways of working, and those ways of working work really well. And if you take sort of documents as an example, and the need for signed documents, the feel of seeing a signed insurance policy that is signed by a human, and you can trust that human's word over a machine, for example, is really important. But those documents represent a huge challenge because it takes a huge number of man hours to produce those documents. It takes even more man hours to read those documents, and nowadays input them into a system, because data, of course, is the lifeblood of the industry, and we then need all of that information to make our future decisions better. So that's one example of an industry-specific challenge that we're tackling with the software that we're building. But the software that we're building, the Atomics platform, it's an integrated insurance productivity suite. So it's not just tackling one area. That's one aspect of what we're trying to do to make document processing more efficient and faster. We're innovating in the broking space, we're innovating in the quote and bind space, we're innovating in the underwriting space, the claims management space. And as I said, we're doing so at the same time, building that all in parallel, because our business sits across all of those aspects, not just one. So we're innovating for the whole business at the same time. We're not leaving anyone out, and that means to be able to do that, especially in a specialist insurance business, sometimes you can get constrained by third-party systems that are designed for more sort of homogenous business lines. And so to be able to do that, sometimes you've got to build in-house, because that enables you to have as much customization as your business needs, and to be able to rapidly change and stay at that bleeding edge of the market. That's not to say that we're against bringing on third-party systems. It's just a value-add proposition. We take that decision as and when it comes, depending on the needs of our teams.
Right. So, as we know, quality assurance is critical for Aventum's current and future roadmap. How does the role of Test Center of Excellence play in it, or how does this fit into it?
It plays a critical role, and I should say it's an absolutely fantastic team that we have, and I'm very proud of the work that they've done over the last more than a year now. We deliberately have QAs embedded directly within our product engineering teams, so that they can become subject matter experts in the domain that their products serve, and so that they can communicate in a highly effective manner with not just the engineers, but the other members of the team. And why is that important? Well, because testing is an integral part of our software's lifecycle, we ensure that no release is complete or can be finalized without the input and without that testing phase. And that's why our QAs are within our product engineering teams. That's why they operate within the same sprint. And every single release that we make within a 2-week cycle must be built effectively, of course tested by our engineers as well, but then subsequently thoroughly tested by our QA professionals. We also have within that testing center of excellence a team that we call the Revolution team. So all of our teams have wacky team names. And that team focuses on automating tests, integration and end-to-end tests, not just at the UI level, but also at the API level. So we try to shift our testing as far left as possible: unit testing, API testing, UI testing, and others. And the test automation team is there to, of course, make the lives of our manual QAs as efficient as possible. But if I could distill their role into the whole testing center of excellence's role into a simple sentence, is they're there to build confidence in our engineering and in the products that our engineers build. And in doing so, in making sure that we're capturing as many defects as possible in the various environments that we test in, we build the business's confidence in the products that we produce. And that is key.
What's your approach to leading engineering teams, and especially in the rapidly evolving tech landscape?
I believe that every individual is a leader and can be a leader within their context. And I believe in supporting that development and growth of their leadership skills. So it's not just your explicit leader roles like your tech lead, like your product manager, like your head of engineering that can lead. It's everyone. It's the implicit leadership that I believe in promoting within our teams. And there are many ways in which I try to promote that leader model, but one of those is through the language that we have both internally and the language that we use externally to each other. As a leader, it's not important necessarily, it's not, or the most important thing, what I do or how I do it. It's why I do it, right? And you need to create an environment in which people can feel safe and thrive, and you need to share the vision that you have for the team and the direction that you're going on a consistent basis. They need to be accepted as part of that, as part of who they are. Everyone in the team needs to understand who they are, and I can help to foster that. They need to have growth and opportunities for learning. The last one, everyone needs to be well rested.
Yes.
I'm a big believer in people having enough sleep, not being driven into the ground all the time. And I try to look after that aspect as well from a pastoral sense.
Wow, I mean, that's really a noble thought, noble thinking, and inspiring for a leader to, take the lead and drive the team to great heights with such a thinking.
Yeah, and from a technological perspective, because I've sort of mentioned a whole bunch of sort of more pastoral aspects, right, is by creating that environment, we need that innovation to be targeted, to be solving the problems that add the most value to our organization. And that's where that constant steering is, and open and transparent communication is required.
Why you do that really comes into play, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So let's say you have an unlimited budget, yeah? What would your moonshot engineering project be for the future of Aventum?
We're doing it.
All right.
So we don't have an unlimited budget, of course. No one has an unlimited budget, but this is our moonshot project. And as we know, going to the moon is possible if you have the right team and the right drive and the right vision and the confidence that you will get there. And we will get there. So this Atomics, this platform that we're building, is that moonshot project that is going to be truly transformational for not just our company, but we also believe the industry.
That brings me to my question about partnership. So how do you see the partnership between Aventum and ADROSONIC influencing the engineering landscape? And what potential do you think it has for the future of engineering?
I've mentioned the testing center of excellence that we have, our test automation team and our QAs, and that team is subject to constant innovation, which I'm really proud of, and they're doing a wonderful job. One of the other examples, or great examples, of this partnership is our innovation team. And a team, as I mentioned, we have wacky team names, a team called the Lab Rats. And they are responsible for technological experiments that they do. These learnings are then embedded and used within the company, within the team, within the tech teams, and that is a sort of truly innovative approach, because innovation is at the heart of that team's purpose, but it is also only that team's purpose, right? So they're not distracted by all sorts of other products that they're having to build and support, which means that they can innovate rapidly and learn rapidly, and then spread those learnings on and collaborate really, really closely with our product engineering teams to embed those learnings in this platform of the future that we're building.
What would your advice be to decision makers looking to get a leg up over the competition?
To build a culture of innovation. It's not, again, what you do. It's not how you do it. It's why you do it, and you need to create that culture in which your team is constantly innovating, but with your vision and company's mission in mind, so that they're able to add the right value through those innovations. So to get a leg up on other companies, it would be, well, really focus on your people, but B, sharing transparently your mission and your vision with those people, and giving them a safe space to think and to create. And through sharing that vision, through sharing that mission, they want to add more value. They'll be more invested in your company, and they will drive you further ahead of the pack naturally. And it's through your people. Your people are your power. Make sure you create the right environment in which they can grow, and with their growth, if it's aligned with your vision and your values, and it's focused in the right areas, that will drive your company forward and keep you ahead.
Let's talk a bit about trends. What are some of the tech trends that you think that have garnered your interest from the insurance industry, and how do you perceive these trends influencing the insurance industry's future?
Okay, so no podcast would be complete without mentioning AI, ML, and then LLMs within that, right? So yes, they're buzzwords, but they're not just buzzwords, right? They're really, really powerful technological innovations that are changing not just our ways of working, but not just the insurance industry, but every single industry in the world, if companies grasp them in the right way. So when we use these tools, we have to be constantly assessing and reassessing whether or not that is the most valuable way to spend our time. What you need to be doing is not just using these tools with the now in mind. It's with the future of the company in mind, and making sure that you are you're implementing technology where it really, really matters, where it matters across three aspects, which top line growth, bottom line growth, like through reducing expenditure, and reducing risk. And if you're focusing on those three aspects, which are the ways to add value to your company, then you will be applying that technology, the latest technology, in the right way.
Well, I love how you put that across. That brings me to my last question. How do you see engineering roles evolving with the rise of AI and automation?
Look, AI can write code, and we've seen that, but we use that, and the confidence in where the engineering careers are going it took a brief dip. You still need individuals to communicate with individuals of the business to interpret and solve their problems. I don't think we will ever be at a place in which we are using only prompt engineering, and I just said I don't think we'll ever be at a place. Maybe at one point we will. I won't tie myself into it, but it at least not in this generation. I don't feel like we'll only be using prompt engineering to build software. Large language models that are dedicated to helping to write software with you not for you, is really, really powerful. The engineering challenges are less, right? They are easier because we have more support now, not just from the engineers next to you, not just from online communities who have done this before, but we also have support from a model that's sitting beside you with unlimited resources and knowledge, that means that you can focus more on solving the problems of the business, not just the problems that are in front of you.
Right, right. That's very insightful. With you and not for you. Like, that's something that I will take with myself. So I think this was the end of our segment. So before we wrap up, I'd like to end on a quick fun rapid fire note.
Okay.
What's the first concept or idea that comes to your mind when you think of innovation?
Culture. To be able to innovate, you have to focus on building the right culture.
And your go-to productivity hack?
Firstly is rest.
Okay.
Rest is crucial for anyone to be productive. Productivity is not how many of the tasks in my endless list can I finish. It's, am I doing the tasks that add the right value right now? So in a given day, you might do one of them, or you might do half of them. But if that's where it's most important for you to add value at that given time, then you're being productive.
Right, so reprioritize.
Exactly.
Yes. All right, so AI, exciting or overrated?
Exciting.
Exciting, of course. So the most overused buzzword in tech?
Agile, used in very often the wrong way.
So if tech wasn't a career choice, what would be an alternative career for you?
I would be a writer.
Writer?
I'd be a writer, yes.
I thought you'd go back to your military calling.
My military calling. So unfortunately, I was medically discharged from the military. So actually, I hark for those days, and I wish that could have worked.
Your favorite way to unplug and recharge?
I'm an outdoorsman. I love adventure sports, and I love mountaineering. I love going skiing, going surfing, throwing myself off of cliffs, and through adventurous activity and sport, I feel that I can really rest and reset. So I'll come back aching and I'll come back exhausted, but mentally, I'll come back in a fresh, blissful state, ready
Amazing.
for the new day of work.
Amazing. So one skill you think every engineer should have?
Confidence, self-confidence, because engineers are not just individual contributors. Now, they are the individuals who are building the software, right? And everyone else, including myself as an engineering leader, are supporting their building of the software. But they need to have the confidence to say no when they don't think something's right. They need to have the confidence to communicate effectively and create an environment in which every individual is also a leader within their own context.
Right, again,
That was 3 or 4 commas.
That's okay. But yeah, that was really good. That was really fun. I loved all your answers.
Thank you.
It's been fantastic having you with ADROSONIC Pulse today. Thank you for joining us. I'm sure our listeners have gained valuable insights from your experiences and your vision for engineering. So really, thanks a ton for doing this for us.
I hope they have, and thank you very much for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
To our listeners, thank you for joining in as well. Don't forget to tune in to ADROSONIC Pulse, and until our next episode, keep innovating and stay curious.